and welcome to my channel. My name is Yulia, and in this video today I want to tell you about a road trip across Britain, which was a long-standing dream of mine. So this is the first episode and we will visit three places: Chatsworth House, Nottingham and Birmingham. So I hope you'll learn a thing or two from this video today. Let's get started! Today we will visit Chatsworth, the place where my most favorite from the very childhood Pride and Prejudice was filmed. Remember Elizabeth Bennet walking down the splendid corridors of Mr. Darcy's Pemberley home of Mr. Darcy. So that's the place! And I think that Keira Knightley won Oscar for playing Lizzie. I'm not sure, but I think that's the case. Honestly, I got so excited when I found out that that place where Pride and Prejudice was filmed was so close to my beloved York that I couldn't sleep 2 straight hours before we finally came there. Now, we booked a ticket in advance to see the house and the garden, and it cost £22 per person. We did that online so that we would have free parking. And I can tell you that now 30 rooms are available, so you can visit 30 rooms, and there's an audio guide in 6 different languages, so it's quite comfortable. And you can also ask the guides; they're more than willing to answer all your questions. So it was really nice. I really enjoyed the estate tour. This house was built as a statement of power and wealth. The estate is interesting in itself. It belongs to a Cavendish family and it has been passed down to 16 generations of this family. Now it belongs to Duke and Duchess of Devonshire, who are the parts of the Cavendish family. But just think about it, 16 generations. This grand estate belonged to the same family. That's huge, that's really cool. Chatsworth is really beautiful rather than just great. It is definitely one of the biggest estates in the country, if not the biggest. Oh, and of course there are lots of stories of love and hatred and tragedies and romance that are connected to this house. Celebrities and famous families, so if you're interested, do check out the documentary. I'll put the link in the description box below. In that documentary they tell you lots of different stories about this house and about famous people who lived there and their life stories too. We went to the garden tour, which is also nice, but not really invigorating. The tour is kind of, well, it's like a person is taking you on a tour around the gardens, and there are lots of spaces there, but it wasn't as invigorating as I would think. it should be, I guess. But nevertheless, you can go sunbathing, you can have a nice picnic there, you can just keep walking because there's a lot of space there and you can really enjoy your time at Chatsworth House. Right now we're very close to the cascade, and the tour guide told us today that this cascade, it takes so much water from the pond. There are 24 steps, which was quite interesting because I always thought that there were so very many steps here, but what they actually count is the amount of these big ones. So that would be just one step, and there is another one, and there is another one. It took us 40 minutes to go from Chatsworth to Nottingham, so as you can see, it was quite a short and very pleasant drive. And then the city itself was really nice and warm. Let me show you what I mean.
Sorry. Yeah, welcome to Nottingham.
The first impression is that it's not really big, but it definitely has a lot to offer. Lace Market, once the heart of Britain's lace industry. Protected as one of the city's most important heritage zones, these former warehouses and display rooms now house numerous shops, restaurants and lace makers. You should definitely check the Old Market Square. Nottingham also offers nice, but not really big street food venues, so we tried there some Spanish meatballs with rice and potato, and then also some freshly made pastry. And it was really like super freshly made. We literally saw people doing that and baking that pastry, so that was nice. We're in Nottingham city centre and it's really beautiful in here. I don't know if it's summer or maybe Sunday, but as you can see, there are a lot of people behind my back, and this square is called Old Market Square, which is quite famous, and I would assume that many people would come here every single day. But we were lucky, since today they had this enormous amount of different places with street food. So we've got ourselves some rice and Catalan meatballs, which was really, really good. And also we had some bakery with baked bacon and cheese, and now I think we will go for some dessert. A little square near Nottingham Castle is quite picturesque and beautiful. Among tourists and locals too, there are some nice cafes there, and for sure you can have some nice pictures taken near the Robin Hood statue. Just check out mine. Nottingham is associated with Robin Hood, and definitely every time when you're here in this city, come and make sure you take a picture, a new one maybe it's not the first time here, take a picture with this beautiful sculpture of Robin Hood. And if you do have time, go to Chatsworth Forest, because that's exactly where the legend begins. I think it's going to be interesting. One more thing, the Boots pharmacies, which you probably know if you've ever been to the UK, originate in Nottingham, which was a very interesting fact for me. One more interesting fact, ibuprofen was created in Nottingham. It was invented here in Nottingham by Dr. Stuart Adams, and first it was used as a remedy against hangover. Now we use it for all different sorts of pain, but back then that was the main purpose, which is amazing. Oh, I didn't know that back then when I was in Nottingham, but I found out this information when I was doing my research for this particular video and for this program, and it turned out that the traffic lights were invented here in Nottingham. Nottingham High School student John Knight came up with the solution in 1866 after seeing thousands of people being killed on the roads. So he created a system with a revolving gas-powered lantern and a red and green light to control road traffic. The very first one was placed at the junction of Great George Street and Bridge Street in Westminster, London. Thank you, John. You get us into work every single day. On the downside, Nottingham is the poorest city in the entire country, actually for the third time running. But I quite enjoyed the city, and I really recommend you to go there because it's nice and it's very pleasant to visit. By the way, guys, do pay for your parking. We got a £50 fine for not paying for our parking immediately. We didn't have any coins, so it took us 10 minutes to go to the nearest shop to get some small change, and then when we came back we just saw that there was this fine. So that was a stupid thing to do, obviously, but I guess that was just a lesson to learn for us. So the next stop is Birmingham. Honestly, Birmingham was a little bit too big for me. To be honest, overwhelmingly big for me. But I quite managed to enjoy a few places there. Let me tell you a little bit more about them. Like the public library, I absolutely adore the garden on the roof. It was big and nice and spacious, and a lot of people were there. I mean, not the garden, the whole library, but generally the space is really nice and beautiful. And I know that lots of people visit this open library and everyone is welcome. So if you just want to go and visit, you don't even have to show your ID or anything. Just go and enjoy all the books, all the resources that they have. The Library of Birmingham provides a showcase for Birmingham's internationally important collections of archives, photography and rare books. Facilities include a state-of-the-art gallery space, opening up public access to the collections. It's hard to believe, but they received around 2 million visitors in 2015 and was the most visited tourist attraction of that year outside of London. I didn't believe it first. I thought the library, the most visited tourist attraction, but check this out, the information is quite relevant. I didn't know that, but Birmingham canals were created 250 years ago. Can you imagine that? In 1769, those canals were created. That's wonderful, isn't it? So, for all of you who have never been to this place, I would probably suggest going to somewhere very close to the canals and only then to the city center. I don't know, it just feels much more authentic and peaceful. So yeah, come here first. Right now, the economy of Birmingham is dominated by services. Actually, now it is a very big international commercial center. Let me tell you some interesting facts about Birmingham. So, Birmingham is the second most populous city in the United Kingdom. Bear that in mind, not popular, but populous. And people who live here in Birmingham are called Brummies, which is a name that derived from the nickname of the city, Brum. This is interesting, isn't it? And the Bull Ring, it has more than 200 shops. It's a huge commercial center and it has a great view. So if you are into shopping, this is your heaven. Guys, please chuck a comment out there if we haven't covered all the interesting places in Chatsworth, Birmingham and Nottingham, because it definitely will help those who are watching this video and planning to go check these places out. If you like this video, please thumbs ups and don't forget to subscribe. This is just the first episode and we have so much more coming ahead. I hope you enjoyed it and I hope you learned a thing or two from this video. See you in the next episode. Bye!